So there are three things to know about mamnu min as-sarf. One is the hukum. What do we do with mamnu min as-sarf? If a word is mamnu min as-sarf, what do we do with this in terms of our nahu, i'rab? This is the whole game here, right? We want to know how to do i'rab of mamnu min as-sarf. And this is the first element. And we said that that is everything is asal except for in the place of kasra, we put a fatha. Okay, so this is the hukum. So that is the first thing. The second thing about mamnu min as-sarf, okay, now that you understand the hukum, so what are the words that mamnu min as-sarf? And this is, as you know, one of the more bigger discussion because there are a lot of things involved. And there's many different ways of understanding the words that becomes mamnu min as-sarf. Why do they become mamnu min as-sarf? There are many different interesting discussion, but I did give you one way of looking at it, which is that if a word, a ism, has two of its attributes outside of its asal, then it loses its purity, right? It's not the pure noun anymore. So what happens is that it becomes a mamnu min as-sarf. And we talked about those, they call it illa, and we talked about them. And we went through all the cases last time. And the third thing that you have to know is this mamnu min as-sarf, these words primarily doesn't take tanween and kasra, but there are situations when it does take kasra. And when does it happen? So this is something that inshallah I'll be talking about. I'll just read a simple text that what he explained here, then I'll give you a little bit more in detailed explanation. So what he's saying here is that وَعَلَمْ know أنه إذا أضيف الممنوع من الصرف أو أدخلت عليه فإنه يعود إلى أصله ويجر بالكسرة. No, اعلم أنه that إذا أضيف ممنوع من الصرف, if ممنوع من الصرف has been added, what he means here is that he's talking about إضافة. Okay, and when you say أضيف, that means it is the first word of the إضافة. Okay, and inshallah I will explain to you. When the mamnu min as-sarf, this word comes as the first word, or mudaf, when it comes as a mudaf, or أو udkhilat alayhi, or you add alif lam on these words, فإنه, then يعود إلى أصله, it return back to its asl. What does he mean by its asl? Because a noun in its asl, it should be able to accept kasra, right? And that's what he means. فَيُجَرُّ بِالْكَسْرَةِ. Then you make in the state of jar by kasra. نحو قوله تعالى لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم. So before I even say anything, tell me which word in here was or is mamnu min as-sarf. Which word? Right now, you have to pick up mamnu min as-sarf as well. Yes, excellent. Ahsan. That is the word. Why? Because it is on the pattern of fi'l, af'al. So this is it the alam or sifa? It is the sifa, right? Excellent. So as you know, all these times we've learned that mamnu min as-sarf doesn't take kasra. And we have fi. And why are we putting a kasra here? It should be fi ahsana. Why? Because this word is the mudaf of taqweem. So we have an idafa. When the mamnu min as-sarf comes in the idafa, when we say idafa, we mean the mudaf, not here. If it comes here, it doesn't do anything. When it comes in a mudaf, then it gets back its asal, meaning it can accept kasra. Makes sense? So here's another one. We have وأنتم عاكفون في المساجد. في المساجد. What's going on here? We just learned that masajid, it is in the pattern of mafa'il, which is the plural. This is the muntahal jumu. That means when you have in this pattern, it should be mamnu min as-sarf, and mamnu min as-sarf never takes kasra. So why do we have a kasra here? Yes, because it is prefixed by alif lam. You get it? This much you have to know. This is as long as you understand this to your fine, but I'll just explain something. Why does it happen? Why is that case? Sometimes you need to broaden your mind a little bit so that it helps not only this topic, it will help you with the other topic. So remember in the beginning, the grammarian wants you to think that the tanween, okay, and the kasra, they go hand in hand. If a noun and a pure noun should accept tanween, and because it's pure noun, it's accepting tanween, it also gets kasra. So basically what we're saying, isim, these are its this characteristic. And we know them because in the beginning when we studied the alama of isim, we know that one of the alama is tanween, another alama is kasra. And why are they saying this? Because what happened with fi'l? Fi'l, it doesn't take tanween. It doesn't take tanween, and that means it also doesn't have kasra. Okay, so think about one way the noun should have tanween, and if it has a tanween, of course, it will take a kasra, and the verb doesn't have a tanween, and that's why it doesn't have kasra. Muhammad Muhyiddin, in his book, they will explain when an isim becomes mamnu' min as-sarf, it resembles the fi'l. Because if a noun doesn't take tanween, well, you're not a pure noun, you're not accepting one of the characteristic of noun, so you are resembling something of the fi'l. And when that happens, this is the key thing that I want you to think. When that happens, meaning if you cannot accept tanween, you can think that you are being penalized, or you lose your right of accepting kasra. This is the way that I want you to think. So if you cannot accept tanween, you will be penalized by not being able to accept kasra. You resemble more like a verb. You understand this concept? When we have waladun, tanween, we can say waladin. But when we say ahsan, we cannot put tanween here because all the reasons that we have studied last class. So we cannot put a kasra, we say ahsana. Instead of kasra, we put a fatha. But now the situation happens when we put alif lam in this word, in the walad, al-waladu, even this simple word cannot take a tanween. Because alif lam forces you to lose the tanween. With alif lam, you can never have a tanween. You understand? So now, what happens when you add alif lam in this ahsan? Al-ahsan, it's same situation. It cannot accept tanween. So what's happening is that the fact that waladun was standard pure noun, after adding alif lam, it itself cannot take tanween. Same thing as the mamnu min as-sarf. Right now, at this situation, when you add alif lam, you cannot penalize a word for not being able to accept tanween, because nobody can accept tanween in this situation. You understand? So if you think about that, I am penalizing you by not giving a kasra because you cannot accept tanween. But now in this situation, both words, munsarif and ghair munsarif, nobody can take tanween. So we have no rights to penalize someone for not accepting tanween. And that is why in this situation, when you have alif lam, they all become the same, meaning they can also accept a kasra. We cannot penalize mamnu min as-sarf in this situation, and just like a normal standard noun, you can accept kasra. And we know that there are only two situations when we have to lose our tanween. This is one of them. Alif lam is one of them. And second one is what? I'm pretty sure you guys know, you have studied this before, which is mudaf. Mudaf can never take tanween. We know that, right? So for example, we say waladu Muhammadin. Okay, the son of Muhammad. And we know in this situation, mudaf can never take tanween. And if we say, for example, the Quran says ahsan, then we have taqweem. Taqweem. It is the same situation. Just like walad can never take tanween, ahsan is in the same situation when it is not allowed to have tanween. So in this situation, even if you say any preposition, any time when it's supposed to take a kasra, mamnu min as-sarf will be able to take kasra as well. So here, that's why we can say fi ahsani taqweem, because this word has been placed in a situation where no one can take tanween. So we cannot penalize the word. It's not the word's fault, at least in this situation. You understand? Both are in the same boat. Exactly. They are both in the same boat. So you guys understand this perspective first. I just want to make sure that you understand from here that we're saying, if you think about the tanween and kasra goes hand in hand, and if you cannot accept tanween, I will penalize you, but not giving you kasra. But then if you put this word comes in a situation when no one can accept tanween, then I cannot penalize. Then they're all in the same situation. So that means you get your kasra. At least in this situation, we will allow you to have a kasra. You can, make this whole story narrative like that, just so that you understand why it's happening. Another way, what they say is basically, they will only compare with the verbs. They will say, if you cannot accept tanween, you become close to the verb. Okay, so the step number one, they will say, you cannot accept tanween. Okay, that means you resemble verbs. That means a verb can never have kasra. So we cannot give you kasra. So that's why you will say you're not getting kasra, because you resemble verb. Then when you have alif lam, they will say, okay, in the first case, you are noun, then now you resemble like a verb. So you become like a verb, so you don't get a kasra. But when you add alif lam, now you resemble back to the noun. That means, the alif lam only comes in what? In ism. When I'm saying noun, I mean ism. So when you have alif lam, then now you resemble way too much more like ism. You're going back to the ism. So this is another way of looking at it. Same thing with the idafa. So mudaf cannot be anything other than the noun. So when you become mudaf, you also get back your original, the asal, which is the ism. Whichever way it makes sense, but bottom line is that I want you to think about this concept. Yes, we just read the whole thing. It just took us a few minutes to find out that when you have alif lam and mudaf, you can accept kasra. But sometimes this kind of logic will help you because it will keep on coming when we study grammar. And also, trust me, if you think a lot deeper, you will be very appreciative of this language, and you will also you won't feel too much burden on these things. You will understand why they do this. Make sense? So for us, what we need to know is that all of these three things I mentioned in Mamnu min as-sarf, because I told you this is one of not easy topic. It's not the most difficult, but it's definitely intermediate topic. So with the Mamnu min as-sarf, you have to know a few things. The number one is hukum. It never takes kasra. Number two is this whole chart when a word becomes Mamnu min as-sarf. And number three is that when you add alif lam or you make it into mudaf, then Mamnu min as-sarf can accept kasra. And I just give you a few explanation for that. Any question?